So there's a video game that has been making the news of late because of their LGBT Pride event. The video game is called RuneScape, and while I am not very familiar with it, John and Kim are. The popular online fantasy game has been running since 2001 and holds the world record for the most updated game in the world, having been serviced with regular updates for more than 15 years. It is run by UK-based production company Jagex, and one of the game's developers, Modwolf, actually teased that they were going to be holding this event on Twitter. He said, "It's an honor to announce a small holiday event of mine will be coming to at Old School RS this Thursday to celebrate Pride 2017. And this is actually not really new to RuneScape because they have featured a number of other events in recent years dedicated to important themes, including mental health, animal protection, and preventing online abuse with very little issue. However, when they rolled out this teaser of doing the LGBT Pride event, the Reddit posts there was some backlash. There were some negative ones, there were some positive ones. Let's talk a little bit about the negative ones. Some people on Twitter were saying things like, "I play this game to play this game, not to agree or debate with other people's sexuality. A giant rainbow gay pride holiday event being shoved down my throat is not acceptable." Some players even attempted to start an in-game anti-gay pride riot. A riot is a long-observed tradition by which players protest disliked updates. Hundreds of people assembled inside the game, repeatedly posting the slogan, "We pay no gay." That said, look.
You could do better. Come on.
You could think of a better catchphrase. And actually, I would say gay people are really the best at catchphrases, like Yas Queen. If they just consulted, they could have gotten that a little tighter. But there was some negative stuff. There were a lot of gamers who felt very positively about this rollout. One user said, "Gay pride is not political. It's just a celebration of basic human rights and being allowed to love whomever you want. I really don't see too much difference being anti-gay pride and anti-gay." And for their part, Jagex said, "Pride is about bringing communities together and celebrating love and understanding sentiment that's close to RuneScape's heart. There's no political statement here. Our only aim is to acknowledge and honor an event that promotes empathy, acceptance, and love. We are disappointed to see some hateful and abusive comments targeting individual members of staff and players from a small subsection of the community. We stand side by side with those targeted in support of them and in support of this cause. There is absolutely no place for hateful behavior in our community, and we will not tolerate abuse or harassment. Pride 2017 is something we wholeheartedly agree with and are proud to support. We know the community stand with us in support of the cause. If you want to show your support, all you have to do is take part in the event when it launches." I wanted to read that full statement because I think that, even though I'm not a gamer myself, I think that gamers can get sort of an unfair shake of things when it comes to progress and social issues. I think that it's important to highlight that it's not the entire gaming world at all by any means that are bigoted in the sense, homophobic or anti-feminist, anti-LGBT. I think it's important to showcase how awesome it is, what they're doing. Now, the rollout itself does not explicitly mention LGBT people. And Kim, I want to toss it over to you. I can't think of anyone that would know about gaming more.
Okay.
What exactly was this the RuneScape thing? So they have to gather.
Oh, how the mission went?
Yeah.
You have to gather. Okay, you meet one guy. And he says
at a bar.
It goes well. No, and he says, "Hey, can you help me with this quest?" It's essentially you're going to find things across the world for him, and it turns out to be different parts of a rainbow. And at the end, you bring it to him, and he says something really offensive to sensibilities, including, "What you've made me realize is that people like yourself who are willing to support those who wish to show their colors proudly, you're the reason I feel confident showing my colors. I want you to have this. You deserve it." And he gives you a scarf.
A rainbow scarf.
It's lovely.
And then you, outside of the game, become gay.
Yeah. And then you are forced to engage in gay sex.
Yeah, they added a whole new module.
It's almost nothing.
It's like
gay
sex.
One rainbow. And then this quest, it's almost nothing.
How dare
It's tiny.
Once I realized and read about what the mission was, I was so surprised. I mean, it's so sort of vague that if I wasn't really thinking about how it's Pride Month and what I'm doing for Pride this weekend, I probably would have just been like, "Oh, look at this flag that."
Yeah, people do quests all the time.
I don't know. I mean, the rainbow flag is definitely a symbol of the queer community, but it also is just so normalized, and it looks pretty, and people like rainbows even if they don't like gay people.
I mean, it's just so crazily the whatever backlash, and I will admit some of the media coverage of it did seem to mischaracterize the community a lot. Like you said, we need to make it clear this is some people. I don't think the people who overgrown baby men represent the large group of people who play games, who ardently love games and support them. Communities like RuneScape, Old School, or RuneScape 3, and it's something to. It's definitely. I mean, I think the backlash definitely outweighed what was in here, and then I think in retrospect, it's clear that maybe this isn't something we should have been deciding it was political, because all it was, I mean, if you look at the text from Gilbert, it's just like, hey, it's nice that we all get to be ourselves.
Yeah.
It's so cool not to get beat up for who we are.
It kind of makes me wonder if they hadn't sort of hinted that it was for LGBT pride, which I think they absolutely should be transparent about that. If you support pride, if you are an ally, I think it's so important to be outspoken, because if you are silent, then you sort of side with our oppressors. That's my perspective on it. So I think it's important that they were open about it. That said, if I didn't know that this was a pride game, it might have only occurred to me after the fact, if this mission was pride related. My question for you guys, since you both are gamers, do you think that them rolling this out is good for the gaming community, or because they're covering the backlash, it's bad for the gaming community? Is there easy to come down on one side of this story?
I mean, the media is always going to mischaracterize this sort of thing. The people who are against something are always going to get more attention. One of the reasons that I think people fight against changes like this is because that small group of gamers, just like the small group of people in the community at large, would have protested any scarf that didn't have a Pepe the Frog on it. Like, there's some people that that's all they can see is their own prejudices. But they see that things are changing, that the old school games like RuneScape are making events like this. New games like Overwatch. My main Roadhog is in a gay relationship with Judd.
He is? That's canon?
I don't know if it's canon, but everybody knows that.
I mean, if you look at everyone's like fanships, it's always like Hanzo and McCree.
That I don't think is real. But there are gay characters, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's just people like it.
Yes, exactly.
It's just popular.
And they're always gonna have a problem. But games are getting more inclusive and more representative, more diverse in the sorts of people that they're focusing their experiences on, and that is a good thing. The only issue I would take with some of these articles that I think are a little bit dishonest is I'm pretty sure that EverQuest has been updated for longer than RuneScape, and that's not fair that you give the credit to RuneScape.
I think RuneScape does hold the record though, right?
2001, I was playing EverQuest before 2001, I feel like.
But it's like for the most updates, not for how long the games are running.
That may be true. But yeah, no, the event is perfectly fine. A small group has a problem with it, and unfortunately it is all too easy for the media to be like, gamers have a problem, when humans have a problem, and some humans are gamers.
What's in TYT membership? Not gonna tell you. Only one way to find out, tytnetwork.com/join.